with Tim Black.
Listen, this is outrageous. Tennessee State has a responsibility to have their campus be under control. HBCUs were created to allow for black students at a time in America when they were not allowed to go to a lot of universities because of segregation and racism, to have a place where they could go and learn and debate and be educated. And so this behavior that Tennessee State's going to allow is frankly wrong. These students need to be allowed to come and have their case be made peacefully in our country. And so what you're seeing in these images is Tennessee State is not actually upholding the values of their institution. They're allowing the mob to dictate political correctness on that campus, and it's wrong. If you're a student at Tennessee State and you don't agree, that's fine. But to take their possessions, try to run them off campus, that's wrong. You wouldn't want that to happen to you. Everybody should be allowed to debate and have their voice be heard.
Look, if I could just plain speak for a minute, because it's so obvious. It's true. I mean, those young black students on that campus, though, they're not towing the line of the left. They're not speaking and saying the things that they're expected to say. That narrative doesn't go along with how they should vote. And that's something that some of us have heard our entire lives. Your thoughts?
You're exactly right. If you're not towing the Democrat line and somehow you're less than as a black person in this country, it's flat out wrong. And it's one of the reasons why the Democrat Party has been allowed to have so much power for so long, because they demand blind loyalty and blind allegiance. And that's changing, Harris. It's changing all across the United States. But whether it's Tennessee State or any other HBCU in America, we should be having broad debate on political philosophy, political policies, and what we want the future of America to be, not shouting people down. To be blunt, just like you said, if there were black students on a relatively white university campus and the same thing occurred, it would be a national outrage. We have to allow for free speech. That is a framework of our republic, is debate and allowing for broad debate to be accepted peacefully and not to be harassed while you're trying to do it.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Before we go any further, let me let you know the Tim Black Wolfpack is dedicated, committed, 10 toes down to reporting the truth, unbiased, and not working for any political party. If that sounds good to you, go to jointimblack.com, become a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Tim Black's BS detector.
Since you said debating is only natural, it's a democratic process, and this is the way we need to uphold ourselves, Byron Donalds, I invite you on the Tim Black Show. This is your formal invitation. I'm extending to you an invitation to come on my show virtually. It won't take much time. Give me 15 minutes of your time. We can get right to it, and we can go ahead and knock this out the box. And you will have proven that you stand on your words. So you don't just say shit, but you will stand and back it up, and you will live up to that, and you will exemplify that, demonstrate it, you will execute on it, and not just make it something for college students to do. Okay? So we're going to reach out to your people again. We're going to reach out to your people again to invite you over here, okay? All right, looking forward to it. Asher Michael, he's been over here. We don't have a problem talking to people. We don't just talk to Democrats. We talk to Republicans, independents, and we have. Now, back to the topic at hand, Johnson. I'm trying to understand what y'all talking about with black people. What black people got to do with this? Look, man, you came to their campuses. These guys, Campy, whatever his name is, Camby. This guy is not a student of Tennessee State University. In fact, these white kids, these maggots, they didn't even know they were at an HBCU, according to them. They did what most white people do when they're wrong. They gaslight and act like you're crazy. I don't know what's wrong. What did I do? I didn't even know where I was. What? Oh, I didn't know it was an HBCU. How you not know it's an HBCU? You see all these black people? So, Byron, your conversation, your whole line of talking don't make sense. These guys are not students, so they're not obligated to be able to come there to do anything. And they didn't go through the school to come there. They did not get permission. They weren't invited. You know, people come to the campus. There's a budget. They pay them, right? People are given an invitation. No, this is just a cheap ripoff of what Charlie Kirk was doing, which was a bigger budget ripoff of what Steven Crowder was doing. Shout out to Steve. And I'd love to bring him on the show so he could try to lie his way out of stuff. But one conservative blowhard gaslight at a time, man. Back to Byron, man. Let's be real here, Johnson. You want to talk about the First Amendment and people's freedom of speech. Doesn't that mean people have to listen to your ass? They should have been locked up for trespassing. That's what I think. But they weren't. They weren't. Ripping up your paper sign, I don't know if you consider that property. These guys didn't even go get printed signs. That's how quickly they came up with this publicity stunt that you are more than happy to drink the Kool-Aid of and perpetuate. They ran to Office Depot, grabbed they ran to Walmart, grabbed some construction paper and a couple of markers and wrote stupid shit on it like DEI must die. True, prove me wrong. And then ran up there to try to gaslight people into conversations that they don't even want to have with them. And when you say that these maggots get to express their First Amendment rights, of course they do. Doesn't mean they get to do it on the campus. Doesn't mean people have to listen to it. People are allowed to tell you to get off their campus. People are allowed to say, get out of here. People are allowed to curse you out, Byron, which I'm sure you know from your town halls. People are allowed to heckle you, boo you, and shout words at you. Freedom of speech goes both ways. You get freedom of speech, and the person there gets freedom of speech. These black students, and I saw some Latino students, a couple of white students as well. The students themselves, they have an agency. They're individuals. They don't have to listen to this bullshit if they don't want to. No one's forced. No one's forced to listen to anyone speak about whatever ideology, whatever. Like, these are not scholars. And another thing, you don't even know what these maggots were saying. Like, I have yet to hear what was this deep, responsible, eloquent, insightful point of view that you're thinking that they were dispelling to students, that students were getting. And if they were just going to be quiet long enough, these blacks, if they just shut up and listen, they'd have been educated. By who? By these guys? Who are they? What credentials do these guys, these maggots have? Just because they're maggot don't mean that they're, worth listening to. What are they saying? Byron Donalds, if you're going to say, and these people are articulating some belief system that was going to be educating black students as if we couldn't already be educated about politics without the benefit of these morons coming to the campus. What were they saying that was so thought-provoking that people were supposed to walk away with? Trying to make people disprove your shitty stance, that doesn't help people. I mean, it's just like Charlie Kirk, his nonsense, his showing up with these talking points already mapped out what he's going to say. Do you understand that? Like, it's just, to us, to the rest of us, it's seen as not intellectual, not real thought out, and definitely not unbiased. It's for clicks, it's for views, and them black kids didn't come to play that day. They did not like it. They did not accept it. They should not have to be forced to listen to it. Be glad they didn't throw eggs and rocks. Be glad all they did was say, get out of here. Security came and got them and rescued the white kids, took them off the campus that they don't go to. None of them had student ID. None of them were invited. They just showed up to get what they got, which was a photo opportunity, some videos, and by the help of Faulking around, media coverage. Media coverage off the dead corpse of Charlie Kirk. They got media coverage off the corpse of Charlie Kirk. It's self-serving, it's boring, it's petty. It's also a little bit low dirty, if you ask me. Yeah. The Fearless Tour. How about a shitless bore? Or a headless core? Or a needless spore? That's all I got. Yeah. Don't compare this to civil rights. Don't compare this to an intellectual, some type of educational opportunity. This was some partisan nonsense, some boring, lame, gratuitous, self-serving, boring-ass scene. This was gaslighting and symbolism and for money and for clicks and views. That's all this was. It's trolling. There you go, Byron, trolling.
The Tim Black Show streams Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wolfpack.